Good morning, it's Denise, and today is Wednesday, April 1st. It's the first day of Veda, or video, every day in April. I'm going to give it a try. Keep watching. It's Wednesday morning, and this will be our second class that we've held on Zoom. So rather than have to jump out the door and zip over to campus, I can just go upstairs to my office and get my computer booted up. So I thought I'd have a leisurely breakfast, and actually it won't be too leisurely because I need to be upstairs in like 15 minutes, but I'm having a cup of tea, and it is the Yogi Blackberry Apple Cider Digestive Awakening. So the Blackberry Apple Cider Digestive Awakening. One of the things that I've been doing every morning during these very difficult times is having a cup of tea. It just kind of helps you to relax and just kind of de-stress and start the day. And I did have their Echinacea Immune Support, but I've used all that up, so now I'm going with the Blackberry Apple Cider Digestive Awakening. And then I'm having a cinnamon maple bun this morning, and kind of makes me think of those sticky buns that I had when I was in high school, and it's just got maple and cinnamon on it. But I made this maple bourbon pecan pie in a jar, which I found the recipe on Lisa Sutton's channel, and I thought, I wonder how that would taste on top of a cinnamon roll. And I tried it a couple of days ago, and it was delicious. So that's what I'm going to have today for breakfast. I'm going to have this cinnamon roll with my tea. So let me pop this in the microwave. Just for about 10 seconds, just enough to warm it up. And then I'm going to leave this packet here on the counter for my husband, and I'll get ready to enjoy this quick breakfast. I'll set this over here so it's ready for him, and looks like I spilled a little bit on the counter. And since I've been having trouble with little friends, I want to make sure I get that up. I have been going to war with ants, and right now I'm trying to do the natural thing. So I've been cleaning the kitchen counter every morning and every evening with vinegar to disrupt their pheromones. My husband did buy some ant traps, and he kind of put those around in different places. And then I made a natural method with some baking soda and powdered sugar. So we'll see. I'm giving him a week to take care of this, and if I still see an ant after a week, he's calling somebody out. And then we're going to have brats for dinner, so I've already taken those out of the freezer and set them here in the sink so that they'll thaw out and they'll be ready to go when it's time to cook our meal. And today is Wednesday, so on my Fly Lady cleaning system, I would be doing what's called Desk Day. Pay my bills, make my grocery list, clean my fridge, and then prepare to go shopping tomorrow. So once class is over, I will clean out my refrigerator, and I will make a shopping list, but I really don't think there's anything I need to go out for. If there is, I'll start the list and just put it on the fridge, but I really don't have any reason to go out today, so I won't be doing that. So, getting a look at the clock, I better get it moving, so I'll check in with you guys later. This is the first time I've tried the Blackberry Apple Cider, and it's pretty good. So far, so good. The cinnamon bun is nice and gooey. I don't know, I've been doing a lot of comfort food lately.
Once I finished breakfast, I went upstairs and got myself ready for class. It was easier since this was the second time around. Once class was over, I went back downstairs to get on with the rest of my day. The phone rang and it was the rehab center again, and my mom was refusing to take her medication. I could not believe it. So I had them put her on the phone and I talked to her for a little bit. I convinced her to at least take her antibiotics, and then I got started working on the fridge. The first thing I wanted to do was to take everything out, check for any expired food, and I found some strawberries that looked like they were growing a new form of penicillin. I am trying not to waste food, but every now and then something does get past me. In case you're wondering what I'm spraying, it's just a highly colored homemade vinegar. I like to use vinegar or baking soda when I'm cleaning the fridge because I don't want the foods in the fridge to absorb any odor. I had stocked up on some caramel macchiato creamer. As you can see, I didn't want to run out of it while we were on this stay-at-home order. One of the things that I learned not to do is to take all of the drawers out of the fridge at one time. I did that once or twice and it was a little bit difficult getting them back in the right order. So now I just take them out one or two at a time. I'll work on a couple, get them cleaned up, get those put back, and then I'll get out the others. And I did have 3 packages of blackberries that I had purchased. They had them on sale at Kroger, so I purchased 4 of them, but I realized I couldn't eat them before they went bad, so I decided to freeze 3 of the packages. So all you do is just spread them out on a sheet pan and then pop them in the freezer, and I'll just freeze them just like that, but then I'll only leave them in the freezer for about an hour, just long enough for them to freeze individually, and then I'll put them in a freezer bag, date it, and then pop it in the freezer. But that way, the blackberries aren't all stuck together. And since I had been so stressed from the call from the rehab center, I thought I just needed to play in the dirt. It just so relaxes me to be able to do that. And I had picked up just a very few herbs, some tomato plants, and just a few pansies and violas to plant in the front of the house. It's really too cold to put out very much right now, but I just needed something. I just wanted to pat the flowers. I came across a line in a book from What Seems Like Crazy on an Ordinary Day by Pearl Cleage, and one of the things that she said was that all women should be able to cook good food and grow flowers. Food to nourish the body and flowers to nourish the soul, and I so needed my soul nourished today. I had a few pots and things on the porch that my husband had already brought out since he had started trying to work in the garage. So I just grabbed some of those and just started working with them. And this year I wanted to plant a peppermint plant, but I put it in this pot because they are so invasive. I didn't want it to get away and be all over the yard, but I just love the smell of it, and I thought it would be nice to make peppermint tea. And every year I put out a lavender plant, and they never winter over. I think it must be the soil that I have or the climate we're in, whatever. I plant them every year and they don't winter over. So this year I'm just going to put out one, but I'm going to put it in this pretty little grayish pot, and I'm going to set it in the front of the house where I can enjoy it every day. And in case you're wondering what I'm doing, I'd like to use the pot that the plant actually comes in to figure out the depth of the space that I need to actually drop the plant into. So I'll kind of squish it around down in there, and then once I figure out the depth that I need, I take it out of the pot and then I drop it in the hole. But this one was pretty root bound, so it needed to get out of that little pot. I love the smell of lavender. You can make little lavender sachets. You can put it in the bath. It just smells so nice and fragrant. I just have to plant one every year. And this large container is going to be my herb pot. I'm going to put out some rosemary, some thyme, some parsley, oregano, who knows. Oh, and I always like to put in a little sage. But right now, all I could find was the rosemary, so I put in one of those, but there will be more to come in this particular little container. I'll probably plant more than one rosemary because I use it all the time. Once it starts growing, and since I'm cooking every day, I am using more fresh herbs, so I will definitely be able to take advantage of it. I'm probably going to plant some other things this summer as well. I don't know. These uncertain times has just made me think more about planting some vegetables in addition to the flowers that I like. I did pick up some tomato plants and a couple of strawberry plants, so I'll have to be getting those out, but not today. Once I got these in the pot, I thought I'd better get them watered in. I can't wait for them to take off. So it's been a few days later, and you can see it's still quite chilly here in our area. So I had to put on a coat to come outside, and I just thought I'd give them a little drink. But look, I've got spring flowers. This is the first time I've had spring flowers in forever. I picked up 2 of those little spring flower containers at Lowe's, and they've got daffodils and crocus, and a couple tulips are coming up. I just love them, and I come out every day and I just pat the flowers. Here I take a little pinch off of that rosemary, give it a little sniff, and then I give it a drink. I just love playing in the dirt. Let me take this opportunity to thank you for spending the day with me and even sharing a part of another day with me. I'm going to wrap this up and leave you with the sound of our wind chimes, a peaceful melody, and I believe this wind chime is ringing peace and harmony into our home.